Good day, everyone. We are the group 2 who will also discuss the topic that we tackled in compensation administration from the start to the end of the class. Mr. Cruz will discuss the meaning of Mr. Cruz will discuss the meaning of compensation, and me, I will discuss the compensation system. Ms. Argilias will tackle the characteristics of compensation. Ms. Mercado is the one who will discuss the payslip, while Ms. Leonora will discuss the meaning of Pag-ibig funds, and Ms. Herrera will also discuss the PhilHealth circular number and its short. Going to Ms. Acuña, who will tackle the equation for net income, and Ms. Ragin will discuss the BIR chart, and Mr. Madrid is the one assigned to discuss the forms of bonuses. And lastly, Ms. Francisco will end the discussion with the topic of bonuses of performance.
Compensation can be defined in two different terms. We have general and for HR. First, in general terms, compensation is the act or state of compensating as by rewarding someone for service or compensating for someone's loss, damage, or injury by providing an appropriate benefit to the injured party. Simply, compensation means that when you do something, they give you something in return. You are compensated when you do something and receive something. For general terms, a good example of this is if you were hit by a car, either accidentally or on purpose, the person who did it will compensate you by paying your hospital bills or more likely giving some extra money to compensate you because of what he did. For HR terms, for me, a good example of that is when they did something good and you will give them bonuses, it's for monetary, and non-monetary is somehow giving them a leave for them to chill and relax. In that way, you recognize them and appreciate their work. And for me, I see it as a win-win situation because once you recognize or appreciate their work, they will become more productive and inspired to work, as well as will result to a good impact to your organization because they will work smoothly and productively. It entails more than just a pay. It is everything of value, both monetary and non-monetary, that an employer provides in exchange for the work you perform. On the other hand, compensation in HR terms is the monetary or non-monetary remuneration that an employee receives in exchange for his or her services to the organization. Because daños per vicio is a fine, restitution payment for damages, wrongdoing, or shame caused to somebody as of a payment to the victim of a crime or injury.
So, for the compensation system, we have here monetary and non-monetary. First, the monetary is a reward that an employer grants to an employee for using their services to perform particular work. Under the monetary system is you can be paid by cash or check for your work. A cash or check is a certain amount of money paid per unit of the time worked. We also have automatic debit arrangement wherein your salary will direct to your bank account, while the transfer is where the salary of employees is direct in remittances such as Palawan and Cebuana. Second is the non-monetary compensation is defined as any compensation rewarded to an employee in a non-cash form. So here are the examples under the non-monetary compensation. The health insurance, such as medical, checkups, dental, and many more related in health insurance. Right subsidy, burden shelter given to employees, and paid leaves.
Characteristics of compensation management. A hierarchy pay level is a collection of wage grades, levels, or bands that link related jobs within a hierarchy or series. It provides a framework to implement reward strategies and policies. It's often regarded as the measure of real wage growth. It distinct from salary rises linked to inflation or wage increases associated with a formal promotion to a higher band. Organizations use pay progression to encourage and reward desired employees' behaviors, maintain salary competitiveness while controlling payroll costs within set parameters, including affordability, provide a fair and transparent process by which individual wage increases are determined. Hierarchy of jobs. Corporate hierarchy refers to the organization of people within a corporation according to power, status, and job function. Small businesses generally have a simple organizational structure, while structure of larger corporations tends to be more complex. Corporate hierarchies typically resemble a pyramid. The more powerful people sit at the top, while employees within least amount of power are at the bottom. Job levels also help prospective employees understand the responsibility of the role they are seeking within a company, including day-to-day tasks and whether a position has supervisory responsibility. They can also help prospective employees understand the career paths available at your company. The hierarchy of jobs are divided into three. At the bottom is the first line managers. They report to middle managers, supervise employees, coordinate to everyday activity, and involve to day-to-day operations. Next, the middle managers. They report to top management, oversee the first line managers. They develop and implement activities and allocate resources. Lastly are the top level or top managers. They have the authority to set the rules and objectives, scan the environment, and make plans and decisions. Set of procedures. The salary is based in every performance of the employee, like on how they perform for a week. For example, if the employee work for overtime work or even on holidays, their salary will increase. The salary of employee will be always depends on their position. There are two types of employees, the exempt and non-exempt. Exempt employees is an individual who is exempt from overtime provisions of Fair Labor Standards Act or FLSA because he or she is classified as an executive, professional, administrative, or outside sales employee and meets the specific criteria for the exception. While the non-exempt is an employee who is not covered by FMLA and is therefore not entitled to overtime pay. Lastly, change for qualities required. Typically, a career promotion is hierarchical advancement that concerns both the responsibilities of the job as well as its benefits. An employee gets elevated to a higher, more demanding position given tasks that are higher in number of difficulty in exchange for increased benefits, mostly in regards to salary. In addition, the promotion inside of the company may also happen if there is a vacant position. A good example is the position for the supervisor is already vacant. One of the skilled employee will be promoted to take over, then at the last, the company will conduct a new job hiring to have a new employee for the vacant position.
Hi, good day. I'm Erica Misa Limbakad and I will discuss the 7 compensation objectives. The first one is to attract competent employees. It means you will attract the most qualified and skilled employees that who will fit the position. And by that, you need to motivate them to do their best or to do better inside the company to attain its goal. The second one is to encourage and motivate the employees to do their best with growing by themselves in the organization. And by that, they will encourage to do their best with growing themselves inside the company and be inspiration to others. The third one is to retain the present employees or qualified employees. In this case, by showing their worth and give appreciation to them to make not them feel what they not deserve. In that way, they will stay in your company. Number 4 is to secure internal and external equity. When we say external, it is the employee's perception of being treated in the same way as employee in the same job but at competing organization. So, when we say external, ito yung pananaw ng employee na itrato siya ng tama kagaya ng pagtrato ng ibang employer sa mga empleyado na katulad niya ng posisyon sa ibang company. So, when we say internal, it is the employee's perception of being treated in the same way as employees within the organization. When we say internal, ito yung pananaw ng empleyado kung paano siya itrato ng tama sa loob ng company na kinabibilangan niya. Number 5 is to effectively administer and manage the compensation and satisfaction of the employee. For me, dito papasok yung word na give and take to you as an employee and them as an employer. You should give them your best and do what you need to do, and they will pay you and give you right compensation that you deserve for giving your best to attain the goal of the company. And number 6 is to simplify the bargaining process. Number 7 is to ensure desired behavior and industrial harmony. It is a friendly and cooperative agreement on working relationship between the employer and the employees for their mutual benefits. It means dapat tama yung pagtrato at tama yung pasahod sa mga employees, tama yung right compensation that you give to your employees para mabigay nila yung best nila sa pagtatrabaho nila sa loob ng company at para mas makatulong ito para mas ma-develop nila yung skills and knowledge nila inside the company to attain the goals in the company.
Hi, I am Kyla Antoinette Mercado who will discuss the topic about this. First, what is payslip? Payslip or the company's payroll clarification report that is issued to the employee to detail the source of their income and to serve as an important document used to confirm the payroll from the company issued to the employees on the day or on the date of their receiving the salary. Sa madaling salita is payslip is a document that employer provides to the employees as a proof of salary. Dito nila makikita yung other income na nare-receive nila, and most importantly is kung pinapasahod pa ba sila ng tama ng employer nila. And mostly, binibigay ito sa araw ng sahod nila o payroll day. And kung hindi naman is the day after. I will go ahead and discuss also the example of payslip. But to give you a heads up guys, this company is not access. It is only what group 1 submitted or a group submitted last activity in creating a payslip on our compensation administration. What I wanted you to focus on is what are the details that you are seeing on this payslip. Wherein, on the first part, you will see the company information, the company name, and the company address. Wherein it is a Protect Promotion and Marketing Corporation and located at Block 143, Mahalketa Street, Balangay, Nongos, Malabon City. And the second one, it will give an employee name or an employee details. An employee name that is Charmaine Machas, a job title that is Human Resource Manager. And also, it will give you a details about the payroll period and the payout date. On the payroll period, it is in the period of December 1 to 15, and the payout date is on December 16. You will see there the earnings or the basic rate monthly of Charmaine Machas as a HR manager. We're in 75,000, but since we have a cut-off or it is only not for the whole month, it is only for December 1st to 15th, we divided 75,000 into 2 in order for us to get the basic rate of Human Resource Manager Charmaine Machas in 11 days. Wherein, it is a total amount of 37,500. But we also have an overtime breakdown because Charmaine has a 2 hours OT. And also, Charmaine has the special holiday work. We're in December 8 Immaculate Conception. So that overtime breakdown will total of 2,088 pesos and 04 cents. After the overtime breakdown, we also have a deduction. But this deduction, guys, is not the incorrect computation because we already know that according to SSS contribution, if the HR manager have a basic rate of 75,000, she should have a SSS contribution amounting of 800 pesos. And on the PhilHealth contribution, it is already 4% as of a salary rate price. 2022 rate price, which is a total amount of 1,500 pesos. And for the Pag-ibig itself, it should be determined amounting of 100 pesos. But what I wanted you is to focus what are you seeing once again on this piece. So, bakit wala ditong SSS? Because what happened on this part is since cut po siya, hindi siya whole month, this SSS will be deducted on every end of the month. But since it is only on the payroll of December 1st to 15, wala tayong nakikitang deduction for the SSS. But the PhilHealth, Pag-ibig, tax is already have a deduction. And Charmaine don't have any leads in other times. So, in total, the deduction will be 1,725 pesos. In order for us to get the gross income, we added the basic rate of Charmaine within 35,500 and the total amount of overtime were in 2,088 cents. 2,088 pesos and 04 cents. So that is the total amount of gross income, 39,588 and 04 cents. Less the total deduction amount of 1,725 pesos. We will get the net pay at total amount of 37,863 and 04 cents. So, if there is still a confusion how this overtime breakdown was get, we just divided the basic rate monthly to 22 days per month in order for us to get the rate per day. Wherein 75,000 divided 22 days, it is a total amount of 3,409 pesos and 09 cents. And that is the rate per day of Charmaine. In order for us to get the rate per hour of Charmaine, we have to divide this 3,409 pesos and 09 cents to 8 hours. Kasi diba, according to our DOLE, 8 hours lang po sila pwede magtrabaho. And ahead of the 8 hours or beyond sa 8 hours sa pagtatrabaho nila, they should be paid as an overtime. So, 3,409 pesos and 09 cents divided by 8 hours, we will get the total amount of 426 pesos and 13 cents. In order for us to get the overtime rate, we have to times or multiply that rate per hour to 1.25 or in the overtime rate that we have. So it will be total amount of 532 pesos and 66 cents. But since Charmaine has an overtime of 2 hours, 532 pesos 0.66 cents times 2 hours, and we will get the total amount of 1,065 pesos and 32 cents. That is the additional income of Charmaine. And in order for us to get the special holiday rate, a special holiday additional pay for Shermaine, we just multiply the regular rate per day of Shermaine, we're in 30 to 30%. And that is a total amount of 1,022 pesos and 72 cents. Because the rate per hour, that is 3,409 pesos and 09 cents times 30%, kaya nakuha natin yung araw ni Shermaine dahil nagtrabaho siya ng December 8. So that is also as an additional income na in-specify dito sa business. And here now, Ms. Herrera to give an elaboration or discuss about the topic in PhilHealth chart and cellular number that we have here at the Philippines.
Hi! So, the Birth of the Home Development Mutual Fund, or more popularly known as Pag-ibig Fund, was an answer to the need for a national savings program and an affordable shelter financing for the Filipino workers. And Pag-ibig stands for Pagtutulungan sa Kinabukasan, Ikaw, Bangko, Industriya at Gobyerno. And its contribution is 2%, 100 for the employee and 100 for the employer. And here is Ms. Herrera to discuss the PhilHealth chart and circular number.
Thank you, Ms. Maylin. We have here the PhilHealth circular number 2019-009. So first, what is PhilHealth circular? The circular explains rationale and objective of the contribution. So as you can see here in representation, based on applicable month, year, and monthly basic salary, below is the new monthly basic salary bracket, premium contribution rates, and monthly premium from 2019 until 2025. As of year 2019, the monthly basic salary is 10,000 up to 50,000, and the premium rate is 2.75%. The monthly premium is 275 pesos up to 1,375 pesos. And year 2020, the monthly basic salary is 10,000 up to 60,000, and the premium rate 3%. The monthly premium is 300 pesos up to 1,800 pesos. In year 2021, the monthly basic salary is 10,000 up to 70,000, and the premium rate 3.50%. The monthly premium is 350 pesos up to 2,450 pesos. And year 2022, the monthly basic salary is 10,000 up to 80,000, and the premium rate is 4%. The monthly premium is 400 pesos up to 3,200 pesos. And year 2023, the monthly basic salary is 10,000 up to 90,000, and the premium rate is 4.50%. The monthly premium is 450 pesos up to 4,050 pesos. And year 2024 to 2025, the monthly basic salary is 10,000 up to 100,000, and the premium rate is 5%. The monthly premium is 500 pesos up to 5,000 pesos. Let's call Ms. Laika to discuss about the equation for net income.
Good day everyone, my name is Laika Pune and I will discuss to you the formula of net income. So first, what is net income? Net income, or NI, also called net earnings, is calculated as sales minus cost of goods sold, selling, general, and administrative expenses, operating expenses, depreciation, interest, taxes, and other expenses. It is a useful number for investors to assess how much revenue exceeds the expenses of an organization. This number appears on a company's income statement and is also an indicator of a company's profitability. Net income also refers to an individual income after taking taxes and deduction into an account. So first, let me enlighten you what is the really net income is. So net income is the total amount of money your business earned in a period of time minus all of its business expenses, taxes, and interest. It also measures your company's profitability. You can for now, we'll get right into how to calculate net income using the net income formula. So, the net income formula, there are two methods na tinatawag nila, which is the full method and simplified method. Full method, the formula of full method is the revenue minus cost of goods sold minus expenses equals net income, while the simplified method is gross income minus expenses equals net income. So, the net income is your company's total profits after deducting all business expenses. Some people refer to net income as net earnings, net profit, or simply your bottom line. It's the amount of money you have left to pay shareholders, invest in new projects or equipment, pay off debts, or save for future use. So, the formula for calculating net income is just like what I've said a while ago. The revenue minus cost of goods sold minus expenses equals net income. The first part of the formula, revenue minus cost of goods sold, is also the formula for gross income. So, put another way, the net income formula is gross income minus expenses equals net income. Or, if you really want to simplify things, you can express the net income formula as the total revenues minus total expenses equals net income. So, net income can be positive or negative. When your company has more revenues than expenses, you have a positive net income. If your total expenses are more than your revenues, you have a negative net income, also known as a net loss. So, using the formula above, you can find your company's net income for any given period, annual, quarterly, or monthly, whichever a time frame works for your business. To understand the net income, business use net income to calculate their earnings per share. Business analysis often refer to net income as the bottom line since it is at the bottom of the income statement analysis in the United Kingdom, known as NI as profit attributable to shareholders. And to calculating net income for businesses, to calculate net income, start with a company's total revenue. From this figure, subtract the business expenses and operating costs to calculate the business earnings before tax. Deduct tax from this amount to find the net income. So, net income, like other accounting measures, is susceptible to manipulation through such things as aggressive revenue recognition or hiding expenses. When basing an investment decision on net income, investors should review the quality of the numbers used to arrive at the taxable income and net income. So, I will give you the example for the net income. This company called Company ABC Incorporation had revenue from the sale of 100,000 for 2017. It paid 20,000 in employees' wages, 50,000 for raw materials and goods, and 5,000 for other office and factory maintenance expenses. In addition, the company had an interest income of 3,000 and paid 2,500 in taxes. So, what is the net income of the company ABC Incorporation? The total revenue of the company equals revenue from sale plus interest income. In total revenue is 100,000 plus 3,000 equals to 103,000. The total expenses equals employees' wages plus raw materials plus office and factory maintenance plus interest income plus taxes. That will be total expenses equals 20,000 plus 50,000 plus 5,000 plus 3,000 plus 2,500 equals 80,500. So the net income equals total revenue minus total expenses. That will be the net income 103,000 minus 80,500. The equals to 22,500.
BIR chart for the updated payroll computation effective from 2018 to 2022. With the passage of tax, reform for acceleration, and inclusion train law, personal income taxation has never been the same as before. The personal income tax of self-employed individuals or those engaged in business and or those in the practice of their professions are those that are highly affected by the passage of the train law early in January of 2018. New graduated tax rates at 0%, 20%, 25%, 30%, 32%, and 35% will be effective from January 1, 2018 until December 31, 2022 under the train law table. Those earning an annual salary of $250,000 or below will no longer pay income tax or zero income tax. Those earning between $250,000 and $400,000 per year will be charged an income tax rate of 20% on the excess over $250,000. Those earning annual incomes between $400,000 and $800,000 will pay a fixed amount of $30,000 plus 25% of the excess over $400,000. Those with yearly salaries between $800,000 and $2 million will be charged a fixed amount of $130,000 plus 30% on the excess over $800,000. High-income earners receiving salaries between $2 million and $8 million annually will pay a fixed amount of $490,000 plus 32% of the excess over $2 million. Finally, the highest income tier receiving salaries at least $8 million per year will have withholding tax of $2.41 million plus 35% of the excess over $8 million. Sample income tax computation under Train 2018 to 2022. The formula to compute income tax due under the graduated income tax rates of Train is income tax due equals A plus B times C, where A equals basic amount of annual income, B equals additional rate, and C equal of the excess over.
Now let's move on to form of bonus. In order to understand the form of bonus, let's talk about first what is bonus. A bonus is a form of compensation that is not guaranteed and that is usually paid after the completion of a certain event. Bonuses come in many shapes and sizes, all of which we'll explain later. Generally speaking, they are performance-based, meaning a company distributes them based on how the employee contributes to the company goal, typically the revenue-based ones. That said, a lot of bonuses are discretionary, meaning rather than the bonus being tied to a specific quota, your level, or your performance, a manager simply gets to decide who is and isn't worthy of one, as well as how much the bonuses is. As you can imagine, this makes bonuses pretty complicated subject for a company and a employees alike. What types of bonuses are there and how do they work? There are three types of bonuses I can share with you. This is the annual, customary bonus, and profit sharing bonus. How do they work? Some bonuses are distributed quarterly, others are yearly, some are one-time thing, others are recurring. It all depends on what role you are in, what level you are at, what you can contribute, what your leadership is like, and what kind of company you work for, among many other things. Let's move on to annual bonus. An annual bonus is usually an overall company performance. So you may get a large or a small bonus, or you cannot or no bonus at all, depending on how successful your organization or a specific department was that year, as well as how big a part of the success you were. This can be also considered profit sharing. The reason why the companies wait a full year before paying you is simply because it means you have to stick around longer, which is why Very few people leave their jobs before collecting their yearly hours. It's also again tied to company goals. So they want to ensure that they are driving performance for all 12 months, not just a chunk of the year. Let's move on to customary bonus. So customary bonus is the bonus that which is being paid by the way of tradition or custom at a uniform rate over a number of years, and which is has no link with profit. So this is ito yung tinatawag natin na mga nangyayari or nangyayari. Profit sharing is an incentivized program that awards employees a percentage of the company profits. The amount awarded is based on the company's earnings over a set of period of time, usually once a year. Unlike employee bonuses, profit sharing is only applied when the company sees a profit.
There are bonuses that are related to performance. First is productivity. Productivity is when an employee produces more than usual or the target. One example is when the employee target sales is 30 products and then nag-exceed siya dito into 60 products, meaning the employee is productive. Malalaman ng employer na productive yung mga empleyado niya sa pamamagitan ng performance evaluation sheet and then sa kanilang mga performance. Second is performance. Performance is when an employee produce an outstanding product or high quality of work. One example is kapag may nagawa kang kakaiba or unique sa gawa kumpara sa gawa ng mga kapwa mo empleyado. And last but definitely not the least is excellent. It is when employee produce innovative product, something different or something new. One example is the printer that uses Bluetooth for you to print out the files faster.